James Gunn has caught a lot of backlash for the decisions he's already made about the future of the DC universe, and there's a ton writing on the announcement that he's supposed to make today regarding the future, regarding his plans for DC after making some wholesale changes, including the firing of Henry Cavill. And with so many people waiting in the wings, surely to criticize him over this plan, regardless of whatever it will be, it seems like he's still taking time to throw shade at someone like Henry Cavill. Check this out. James Gunn wants actors who are, quote, easy to work with for his DCU in potentially veiled jab at Henry Cavill. And when you look at a lot of the biggest, most successful actors, are all of them easy to work with? Is Tom Cruise easy to work with? Certainly doesn't seem like it. He demands a lot out of everybody that works with him. He demands a lot out of everybody involved on the production team. And what ends up happening is he creates incredible movies. He demands the best so he can get the best so they can put the best out there. The same goes for nearly every all-time great sports player as well. They might be very, very demanding towards their teammates, but it's because they want that thing to be as successful as possible. It looks like James Gunn is not going in that direction. He just wants yes men. He just wants people that'll do whatever he wants them to do. They won't put up a fuss about the source material. They won't put up a fuss when he decided to change things wholesale and the fans won't like it. No, that's not what he's looking for. That might be one of the reasons he got rid of Henry Cavill. It's almost the month's end, the first in 2023, and we still don't know what the first few films in James Gunn's DCU slate are going to be. Now, again, today, as I'm filming this, it's about 10 o'clock in the morning Eastern on January 31st. In a couple hours, we should have the announcement from James Gunn. We will see. We know a little bit about who won't be there, namely Henry Cavill, but recent tweets by Gunn clarify what he looks for and hint at who he might hire. When a Twitter user implored him not to bring in cast members from Guardians of the Galaxy and find new actors, Gunn had an interesting answer that reveals a little about his hiring choices and, in a way, evinces more about his firing ones. He started with his criteria. We have hundreds of roles to cast, and as I've always done, some will be brand new faces, some will be actors I've worked with before, and some will be actors you know who I've never worked with. What matters most is the actor fits the role, and they're easy to work with. Fans are speculating what that could mean. First, it sounded like we might get some Guardians of the Galaxy in the DCU. Now, since that moment in time, Dave Bautista has spoken out, and he said, I talked to James Gunn about playing Bane, and it's not something that's going to happen. I'm not physically ready for it. I couldn't do justice to the character. But he also said something else that was very interesting. I talked to James about it, the direction he's going, completely rebooting the entire universe. He's starting from scratch and making everything younger and fresher. I think that's the ideal path. Now, from what we've heard from James Gunn and from other people that have been scooping stuff, it's not a full reboot. But Dave Bautista says that it's a full reboot when he talked to James Gunn about it. I guess we'll just have to see. That brings us to other speculation. Gunn favors a younger Superman, which doesn't give Henry Cavill the edge despite the phenomenal shape he's in. However, this might not be what cost Cavill a place in new DC. Now, this is when Den of Nerds, when Josh from Den of Nerds tweeted this out, James Gunn doesn't like Henry Cavill. James Gunn, responded in a pretty snarky way to Josh about it. And then a few days later, we get the announcement that Henry Cavill will no longer be Superman. So very, very interesting. Nevertheless, Gunn also had a meeting with Cavill on whether he got the impression the Witcher actor was difficult or not is unknown, but he may have had some reports on Cavill's reputation, especially those that emanated from Netflix fantasy set. Those, of course, turned out to be embellished. Yeah, Henry Cavill's a guy who cares a lot about what he does, and he wants people to honor and respect the source material, and he wants to give fans something that they will respect and enjoy. You might consider that hard to work with, especially if you're someone like James Gunn, who specifically told John Cena not to read any comic books. He didn't want him familiar with the source material at all, so he could do whatever he wanted with it. So maybe it makes sense why someone like James Gunn wouldn't want to work with Henry Cavill. But as we get closer to this big reveal, which we know Henry Cavill won't be a part of, it seems like James Gunn is continuing to take little shots at Cavill here and there. What do you guys think? Let me know in the comments section below. Smash a like button, subscribe to the channel, ring the bell for notifications, share this video out there, and I'll talk to you later.